That's right, baby. That was just a sale. Anyways, yo, my people, I'm gonna make it quick. I remember I told you I put my products on Amazon, yeah. So far I've sold, how much have I shipped? I've done, how much have I done? Let's check it last 30 days. So I've sold 8 in the last 30 days, but I've only been doing it for about 2 weeks. So the last 2 weeks I've sold 8 products, so not bad, seeing that I'm not really paying that much on advertisement. So I put a £10 a day advertisement. On advertisement, I've spent, let's see, marketing. No, let me see if I can screen share this just to show you. So I've spent £71 and I've done £209 in sales, and that is 8 orders. So the price originally on my website will be 60 quid, but I've dropped it down to 40 quid on Amazon just to make it competitive, just to get a few sales, potentially get reviews and slowly rank. Yesterday it went back to £50 and I actually got a sale last night for £50. So it shows that people still perceive the value of it being £50. So that's really good. But yeah, don't want to stay on Amazon long term because they're taking a lot. They take about, I think, like 14% plus advertisement. So it's a lot. But I was thinking, as I haven't got the marketing budget yet to go ham on Facebook, for example, I thought, you know what, I'll allocate a little £10 a day on Amazon and just see what happens. It's not spending £10 a day anyway. Sometimes it'll spend like £3, £4. Sometimes it won't spend anything. But essentially, yeah, I'm just using Amazon marketing campaign kind of option where you just kind of bid on like keywords that you think customers are going to search. So for example, if I was selling a neck brace, then if they search for like neck brace, then I'd basically pay for that, and every time they click on the word neck or brace, I would obviously pop up. But of course, you're bidding for basically your space on there on Amazon. But yeah, so not getting that much clicks, but it's all right. But yeah, essentially so far £71 for £209. As you can see, a 2.93, so nearly 3 rower, so it's not bad. But yeah, I'm only sharing this to say, hey, I'm happy that it's still selling, even though it's slow. I understand why it's slow, and I've said this before, and it kind of proves already that I know that there's a demand for the product. However, if there's no traffic coming to your website, then and no one's aware of your product or your brand or your offer, then you're never gonna know, right? So of course I had full conviction based on my product research, but of course, without anyone seeing the product, I'm not gonna get any sales. So now just putting a little £10 a day the past 2 weeks now, it hasn't spent £10. As you can see, it's only spent £71 since I even started 2 weeks ago. But it's still done 8 sales. So it proves that whoever is seeing it sees the benefits, and they're looking at it thinking it's going to obviously solve their problem, right? So yeah, it shows that if I now, once I start like putting a lot of budget, like 200, £300 a day on Facebook, that's going to be a lot of viewers, a lot of impressions, a lot of people coming to my website that could potentially convert into customers. So yeah, I'm kind of happy. I'm just now hoping that people will leave like a little good review, because I'd really want to hear people's feedback. But in the last 2 weeks, no one's opened a return, so that's good. No one's left a negative review. So I guess Amazon, this marketplace, is kind of a good way to utilize their traffic if you're on a small budget, just to test if the product works, people like the product. So yeah, so far not bad. Not gonna complain. So yeah, keep doing that for now. Again, like I said, long term, I'm not gonna wanna like be on Amazon. Maybe like later down the line when there's a lot of stock, I can allocate a bit of stock with a smaller return on Amazon, because I guess sales everywhere is still sales, right? Even if my profit margins are smaller on Amazon and higher on Shopify, for example. So it is definitely still something to look into as an avenue, but of course I'm going to focus mainly on Shopify once the budget is running. As I explained before, I'm prioritizing my accommodation first. Well, not first because that's a lie. Because I was prioritizing the stock first, but now the next step, as I explained in the last video, is to prioritize my accommodation. So that's getting a flat, getting my deposit, moving into my new flat, and just creating that environment finally. And then once that's all done, once the stock's all done, then whatever I get from work, anything left over, then I can put that into marketing. Do you get what I mean? Yes, it's dragging on. However, I hope if anyone does come across my channel or across my video who's thinking of starting a brand, a lot of people say, oh, I made 30, 40K in a month, 50K a month, but people are not breaking down, okay, but first you need to find money to buy stock if you are going down the stock route, or you still need to find money on advertisement if you're going down the dropshipping route. You still need money to run it, you know what I mean, to test it. So, someone just like me who might be, working a job maybe on like minimum wage, cut out. But yeah, for someone who is working a 9 to 5, maybe getting paid the minimum wage, but has rent to pay, has to live and all these things. This is a real reality of someone starting from zero. Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of glad that I'm documenting the whole process from the beginning. I've said it already, but yeah, it is slow, it is dragging on, but it's all part of the process. This is the reality, starting from the beginning. So yeah, I wish it was like boom, bam, 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 but no, there's process, and I've said it already, but I'm at peace with it, and I'm just taking it as it is. But yeah, slowly but surely, the ball will be rolling, and it's just about being consistent, and just staying on it and not giving up, regardless, however long it takes. And that's another thing, isn't it? Like, people want to start something but don't even want to commit at least minimum like 18 months to it. People will put 6 months in a year and then just give up. But it's like really giving it a best shot. Really, it's like minimum 18 months to even try. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything else is just, yeah, like if you're being real, like if you really want to build something, like it takes time. It could take years. I'm not saying it will. Sometimes it can take overnight, but it's just having the mindset that it's like it's not gonna happen overnight. So yeah. But anyways, that's a quick one, you lot. Still but yeah, gonna keep being as consistent as I can with the YouTube videos. Still looking for a place. However, I actually spoke to the agency that was sorting out this room for me, and I messaged her, telling her, obviously, just to remind you that, I'll be leaving at the end of the month. And I was like, do you know anyone that's got an apartment? And she's like, oh, I've actually got an apartment. It's like, huh? It's like, what? And she's like, yeah, there's an apartment for rent. She's not feeling well today, but she said that she will, when she feels better, she will show me the apartment. And apparently, yeah, she said it was okay. So she said, yeah, look at it. If it's good, then I'll just take it and that'll be perfect, because at least I've rented now 6 months between this HMO and the other HMO, right? So they know that I'm good for rent. I don't have to go through reference checks or all that other stuff because I've already kind of been with the same agency. So the transition should be easy. So that'd be really good. So touch wood, because I've said this before, but like the last week or two, like the viewings have not been great, or I'll see a flat I like, I'll ask for application, and then it will go off the market straight away. And I think it's because there's not that much apartments here in Liverpool. The last viewing there was like 9 people there, so it kind of shows that there's not that much property available. So yeah, it will happen. It will happen by the end of February. I'll be out of this bloody HMO. But yeah, how you lot been anyways? What you lot been up to? Leave a comment if you stayed all the way to the end. But yeah, I am going to drop this parcel off, because that's another thing with Amazon. If you don't deliver based on the day that you promised, then obviously they not strike you, but you know what I mean. You have like a certain target of how much delivery needs to be on time. So yeah, I don't wanna mess that up. So I gotta deliver it today. But anyways, you lot, peace and love. I'll catch you in the next one.